Alright guys, and welcome back to another video. Little update on the pond and what I've done to it, plus a little bit extra for people who are new or trying to breed turtles in general, especially water turtles. This video is explicitly for them and what I've run into as far as problems. So let's just go ahead and get started. Pretty much I had roughly about 30 baby turtles this year hatch, and some hatch outside, some hatch inside. Where I live, the turtles that I keep are native to this area, so it's not really a problem with me having them outside in an enclosure like this. Obviously the shade in this enclosure is not what I would like it to have, but there is going to be work done to this enclosure later dates and times, and I'll give you all the updates and take videos of what I do. But anyway, pretty much all the turtles that hatched I took out of the enclosure. They hatched over here in this one. I'll take you all on that one in another video, or I actually have a video of that enclosure up on my page. But they hatched, brought them upstairs. Everybody was doing good for a while. I had a UVB light on for the sunlight. As you all know, especially for babies of the reptiles and any breed minus snakes, you should have UVB bulbs to make sure that they grow properly and get the sunlight that they require for the calcium growth and everything, so you don't get bone deficiency. Unfortunately, a lot of the baby turtles started to get soft shells. This is due to lack of sunlight and the UVB rays that allow them to get the calcium growth and everything to harden. So I brought them outside. Now I had them in a little pond pretty much, but I didn't feel as though it was enough room for them. I like giving everybody space, as you can see. So for me, I tossed them back into the pond with the adults. Now some people who are going to watch this are going to know right away what I'm getting ready to talk about, but for those of you who don't and who are new to the hobby, when you keep turtles, generally speaking, people feed them pellets. I personally feed Missouri turtle / crocodilian diet to all of my turtles and iguanas. They're pretty decently sized pellets that are flat and circle. Now the baby painted turtles are about the size of a quarter. So with feeding that, and there's also fish in this pond, the baby turtles do have a tendency to look like the pellets. So unfortunately, I had about 30 baby turtles. A couple died because of the UVB rays not being strong enough inside. That's when I brought them outside, and they got introduced out here. Now I had left it alone. Everything was doing great. Everybody was being fed. Like I said, I have multiple minnows in here in the area I live in. We have bull minnows, plentiful, so I go catch them with a cast net and throw them in. But unfortunately, while I was away at work, either the turtles didn't get fed enough, there wasn't enough food in the enclosure, or whatever have you not. The bigger turtles decided that the smaller ones looked like their food. So unfortunately, I came home to about 5 dead babies that they weren't floating anymore because my wife was able to get in and get them out, but they had had their heads bitten off, and some of them had a larger amount of their scute and plastron bitten off as well. Their carapace and their plastron. So just a little tip for people, so this doesn't happen to anybody else. It was very detrimental to me and really upsetting to see this happen. Now granted, I knew there was a possibility, but also with turtles, size differences is a very big thing. Turtles of really big size difference to a small turtle can sometimes prey on them if not fed properly, but I didn't think this was a case for me, especially with the space that I have right here. This is about I would say 8-foot pond, maybe 9 foot by about 6 foot wide. It's not the biggest, but you know, it's what I have to work with. It's what I built, and everybody was doing fine. So I had to get in here and pull the babies out. I have not gotten all of the babies out by any means. I've pulled out probably about 18 right now, baby turtles, and the rest are still hiding in here. I go in there every day now and do the little circumference, put my hand up underneath this. If you all, or if anybody cares or is interested, all this around here, the grass, this is not grass growth. This is not a real pond. This is a pond liner thrown in the ground, and this is sod placed on top of it. You can see I'm lifting it up right here. It's just a big piece of sod. Now the back end is in the ground. The front end is just draped over. You see over there, zoom in on it, that is just the excess sod, the dirt, and the roots that is still on the sod mat that the grass has now died from being submerged into the ground, and it's just kind of floating there. Now again, this does provide cover for the babies along with cover for the adults, and just some place to go hide, make it a little bit more natural. I do have plants that are, zoom back out, sorry about that, do have plants that are growing close enough to provide shade for at least one of the parts of the pond so far. My attempts at growing trees in here, they unfortunately have died, pretty much just due to the amount of heat that this side of the yard takes. But as you can see, I'm trying to grow a couple more plants, have some stuff growing. So even the little weeds and stuff, I'm kind of just letting grow so I can get some kind of coverage and shade, so I can grow other things over here until they get big enough that they can survive through that heat of the day. But getting back to the video, like I said, it was a very upsetting point for me to see all the hard work I did last year incubating the eggs and taking care of the babies, raising them up and all that good stuff. A lot of them get eaten, but like I said, this is the unfortunate part about owning reptiles and breeding them. Hopefully this will save other people in the future from having this mistake. Now, like I said, there is a possibility a lot of them could have survived if they stayed in the pond, but again, me feeding them pellets, I didn't want to run the risk of it, so I pulled them out there in the backyard. I'll show you the nursery in a second. Just got to walk across the yard, so I'll go ahead and pause the video and come back when I get over to them. But yeah, just so people know, this is the stuff that just happens. I mean, you know, it's life, and you know, not everybody makes it, unfortunately. But again, this was also my mistake. But I'll cut back over when I'm back over to the babies. All right. Okay, and we're back. So this is the quote-unquote nursery for the turtles. Can't zoom out anymore than what I already am right now. But these are all of the babies that I have pulled out of the pond. That's all the way over there. And brought them back here. Now, this is just another area in the yard that I have blocked off from the dogs that they can't get in. It's not finished, but this is the best place for them to be. Now, speaking along with that, this is not done in any means. This is just a very quick temporary nursery for the turtles. They have a little area to get out and bask. This is greatly covered by trees, so they have plenty of shade for the water to not get too hot to bake them and boil them, which was my initial problem with the pond I had set out previously. It was just getting too much sun. I wasn't home during the day to see how much sun it was really getting. I just got them outside as fast as I could to get them outside, get them UVB rays from the actual sun to let them grow. Like I said, these are all turtles that are natural to my area, so having them outside in the outdoor environment will not hurt them in any way. So this is what I can do. Now everybody else can't do this, and that's completely understandable. If you do have turtles inside, however, especially babies and newborns, I suggest highly buying UVB bulbs, and if you have older ones that you have sitting around, and then you get a clutch of hatchlings, you go to the store, you spend the $60 or however much you spend on your UVB bulbs, price is different in every state and all that good stuff. So you go buy new UVB bulbs and put them back up. Again, this is not the complete answer. Baby turtles do tend to need more UVB rays than one strip light especially can put out. So you might have some soft shell, you might have some soft shells that turn hard, that leave little indentations in the babies. If you do have, or you do live in an area that is native to the turtles that you keep, me specifically, we're talking about red belly or northern red belly cooters, painted turtles, mud turtles, musk turtles, snapping turtles, red-eared sliders aren't native to this area, but through people dropping them off in the waters, we do have them. The area I live in the Eastern Shore, can allow them to live outside. They can live in the weather. So these are just some. It's not all of the turtles that can live here. You have diamondbacks and terrapins, map turtles, and a couple other turtles that I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, so like I said, just wanted to put this little video up. If you ever decide to breed turtles or raise turtles or just have turtles that lay eggs because you didn't know what sex they were, obviously you can leave them outside if you live in an area where they will live and they will hatch. But generally speaking, you want to get them away from the adults. They're very small, the size of a quarter for the most part, or when they hatch, they're the size of a quarter. They do grow rather quickly. But yeah, so that's just some of the problems I've run into along the way of my own journey with raising and keeping reptiles. Again, it was my own fault. I should have known better. I've had turtles for many years. I've seen it happen before. I was just in a rush to make sure they didn't die from the lack of UVB rays. And like I said, for me, it was easier to put them outside than go spend hundreds of dollars on bulbs. So that's what I did. But yeah, so let this be a lesson to anybody, and especially myself, that in future references, you want to make sure that you take the steps needed to set up the nursery when you have babies, and not just kind of hope that what you have set up will work. Again, not everybody may run into the same problems that I had. Like I said, my UVB bulb, from what I'm thinking, is just old and bad, and I have to replace it. But my easiest fix for it was just to go and put them outside. So, and this is perfectly fine in areas that the turtles are native to. All the turtles I keep are native to this area, like I've said before, and they all live happy and healthy outside. Plus, I like having my animals outside anyway. It looks better, they are healthier in my own personal opinion, and live longer, breed better, and all that good stuff. So, alright guys, with that being in mind, hope y'all have a good day. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you would like to subscribe to the channel, more videos being posted up about the babies growing up and other turtle information, plus other information on other animals and some gaming videos. So yeah, hope y'all have a good day, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Alright guys, bye bye.